So we are here in lovely County Wicklow where I have Lara O'Byrne joining me for a little bit of a hike. First time Lara has been introduced to the EOS socks and vests. So first impressions, what are we thinking?
They're so good. I actually can't believe it. Like, I didn't realise how much I actually needed it until I tried them on. I'm literally not slipping anywhere.
And the vest, what do you think?
Oh, so good, so light, you wouldn't even know it's on.
Yeah. That's the idea behind them, is to kind of make sure that, you know, the ultra light and you don't even notice you're using it when you're running.
Yeah.
So tell me about your athletics. Okay. So what's your background? Kind of tell me what are you competing in? What's your kind of discipline within athletics?
Okay, so I started off when I was 9 and I went down to the track and I just loved all the events. Yeah. So then I was like, I don't want to just pick one. So then I decided to do multi-events, and when you're young, it's only pentathlon, so it's only 5 events. Yeah. And then when you get to, like, I think it's under 16s or 17s, then you move to the heptathlon. So the heptathlon, it's a competition that takes place over 2 days. Okay. And you do high jump, long jump, shot put, hurdles, 800 meters, 200 meters, and javelin.
so it's for those really indecisive people that just want to do everything.
Yeah, like I can't choose. I can't just run in a straight line. It's too boring for me.
Class. So tell me a little bit about kind of the clubs, like the teams that you compete with. How does that work?
So I just chose a club. Like, my best friend's dad had the 200 meter record, so he ran for Denor Harriers, so that's who I decided to run with.
Okay,
do you know what I mean?
savage. Yeah. And then how have you progressed since then? Is it kind of with them the whole time? Have you kind of gone competed at higher levels? What's the
I ran for Ireland once, but that was in the skills, the SIABs. It was in Glasgow. It was a pentathlon, so it was indoors. So I forgot to say that as well. I do the pentathlon, that's indoors because you can't throw javelin inside. So obviously it's like, you know, it's a different kind of event. That must
be tough for you, having to remove one of your many skills from.
No, javelin, I'm kind of glad that's gone. That's my worst event. Do you know what I mean? So
perfect. Okay, so then what age were you when you were competing with Ireland in that age?
That was I turned 17 on the day of the competition.
Your birthday present was the competition for Ireland? That was
it was a bit scary, but it was fun, it was fun.
So you've been obviously in athletics, you said, since you were 9, so that's a long time. What has, I suppose, your highlight, what's the kind of big moment that you kind of remember most fondest?
Honestly, any PBs, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, I don't mind if I don't win a race. If I go out and run a PB, like, that's like more than coming first or running for Ireland or whatever, because you know that you're getting better. Do you know what I mean? It's really a sport of, like, you're on your own. Yeah. Especially heptathlon, I don't know, it's like you're just competing against the scores, do you know what I mean? And last year there, I finally broke 5,000 points, which I've been kind of working for a few years. So that's probably my biggest achievement.
It's an interesting one, because obviously with so many team sports, and you know, it's quite a, like, you either win or you lose, but it's much more individual kind of competition with yourself. Do you find that difficult to kind of keep that motivation because you're fighting against yourself a lot?
No, I think it's way easier, because you can blame yourself and you can also reward yourself. Do you know what I mean? If you do bad, you're the only one to blame, but if you do good, you're the only one to reward. Do you know what I mean?
You're the main person.
Yeah, I'm like, exactly.
Story, 100%. Unbelievable. So then tell me, a little bit more about your kind of preparation and stuff. So what about mealtime? Like, how would you prepare for a big comp coming up?
I kind of so obviously I completely, like, I would have a takeaway, like, you know, every, like, once a week or whatever, but coming up to competition I have to completely remove that, especially because I do have IBS as well, so I need to make sure I don't eat any foods that, like, can trigger that. Because one time during a pentathlon I literally I was going to drop out because my stomach went into such, like, a spasm. I was in bits. So I do have to just kind of eat clean and plain. Do you know what I mean? So it's not too bad. Like, I eat plain kind of anyways, just because I can't have, like, onions or garlic and all, like, which is actually a bit wild. But I literally just eat clean. That's basically it.
Okay, perfect. And then you mentioned you like your takeaway, like every athlete.
Yes.
What's the kind of cheat meal then? So you've had a big week of training, you've competition, say, on a Saturday, Sunday you're sitting down, you're like, I want to spoil myself. What are we going for?
Domino's.
Class. Right. What's the pizza toppings?
Oh, jalapenos.
Okay.
Olives.
Right.
And peppers.
That is...
So I'll eat half a large pizza, then a full garlic bread, and then 2 cookies and a drink.
I know. I struggle.
Yeah, no, I literally, like, gobble it down in 2 minutes. Like.
Unbelievable. Okay, brilliant. So let's go back to kind of the competing and the competitions and athletics. Obviously, lots of success. You said you're hitting your PBs, and that's where you get kind of your motivation and happiness from competing. let's talk about the more interesting stuff in terms of what's the most embarrassing thing that's actually happened to you in when you've been competing? Like, what's something funny? What would you say your most embarrassing moment has been?
So this happened at seniors last year, national seniors in the hurdles race, right?
Brilliant, recent. That's great.
Okay, there's actually a video of it as well. So literally, on your marks, get set. The gun went off, and I was just sitting in the blocks. I didn't go. Like, that was it. Like, the whole race went without me. I was just sitting.
Did you hit like stage fright?
No, I literally, what happened was I like went on your mark set and I twitched.
Yeah.
So if you twitch, like they'll call it, they'll be like, oh, stand up please, or they'll, press the gun twice. And I was like waiting for them to say it. And the next minute they're all gone. The race is over. And I'm just like, and everyone was like, we'll restart the race. I was like, no, it was my fault. Like, I was like, don't worry about it.
You were a false start.
And I thought they'd say, I literally thought they'd say stand up. And it's the most embarrassing. You just see me watching the race from the blocks, like literally on the ground, like.
And was there many people at the race?
Ah, yeah, like it was national seniors, like it's a big, everyone was like, what happened to you? I was like, but I was kind of glad because the wind was a minus 3.5 or something like that. So I was like, it was a really strong wind. I probably would have like died or something.
Jeez. Okay, yeah. So I think that's a pretty solid one. Yeah, we'll accept that. So, okay, so kind of round things up a little bit. If you were to kind of, people looking to get into athletics, like it's obviously, so many different areas and disciplines that you can get into. Obviously yourself being one that's touching on everything. What would your advice be? Like, what are your kind of maybe 2 or 3 pointers to somebody that wants to compete at a high level in athletics? Like what's your kind of main kind of 2-3 pointers for them to be able to improve on a weekly, monthly and hit those PBs and compete at a high level?
I think, first of all, you need to find a good coach that you work well with.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people like who have good coaches, but they might not, have a good relationship. I think you need to have a really good relationship with your coach and trust them that their program is made for you and it's going to work out. Yep, do you know what I mean? Course. So good coach, good program.
Yep.
Also, just have fun, because I say this to everyone. I said, once it's not fun anymore, what's the point?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Course.
Like, having fun is the main thing. And also another thing is obviously nutrition and stuff like that, because injuries. To be fair, I did go vegetarian for 2 years and it was my biggest regret because I got injured constantly afterwards.
Yeah.
So I'd say maybe have like a nutritionist or something like that, and a good physio that you can trust as well, that they're going to get you better. So
okay, so
good coach,
the team that's around you is
that obviously is important as well, because like I do train a lot on my own and I do find it hard when I'm on my own, but I do have a group as well to train with, say on the weekends and stuff like that. But
so the group of people that you surround yourself with is essentially
it's a team. It is a team outside of you competing, if you know what I mean.
It's a team sport within an individual sport.
Exactly.
100%. Okay, let's get going. We'll start working our way back down the trails, and we'll keep chatting.
Great.
All right. So obviously athletics probably takes up a huge amount of time. What about outside athletics? Kind of, what's college like? Are you in university? What do you do outside of athletics?
Yeah, so I just finished environmental science in Trinity there, and it is really hard to balance it at all. Like, do you know what I mean? The course I did was quite time consuming.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you're in college, like you just, and like in school and stuff like that, and you're in like high level of sport, whatever, you always just make time for the sport. Like, it's not like people are always like, oh, like how do you do it all? I'm like, well, I just have to make the time for it. Do you know what I mean? And I want to do it. Like, that's my break as well.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Do you know? So when I come out of college, like even say I could do my gym session like on campus or whatever during my breaks and stuff like that. So that's how I would do my gym sessions.
With that, so what's your training schedule like then? How does that fit?
Okay, so I train 6 days a week. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. And I will do 2 days, I think it's 3 or 4 times a week. Okay. So 4 days it's like a gym session and a track session. Nice. And then the rest are just like track sessions or whatever.
Okay, so and then on the Sunday, that's when our peppers, jalapenos comes in.
Yeah, well, it's more like a Saturday night, which is a bit risky because I wake up and do a really hard session on a Sunday.
Very good. Okay, class. Yeah. So I suppose then growing up, obviously within athletics and stuff like that, and with being quite sporty, did you ever have like kind of an idol within the?
Jessica Ennis.
Okay, cool. And how come? What was?
Well, she was just a
Why her?
multi-eventer, and
Okay.
she was a heptathlete, English heptathlete, and
Yeah.
like I read her book and all. Like I don't know, just growing up, like she was the one to kind of be looking at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was the one doing all the Olympics, World Championships, and
Yeah.
like she's like small as well, so I'm like, she's able to do it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like anybody's able to do it, but she's an absolute beast. So,
Perfect.
and she was so nice as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Lara, thank you very much for joining us
Thank you.
in Wicklow today. Really enjoyed the little hike and walk, and hopefully chat again soon.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers.